7.10, polynomial long division levels 1 and 2. So first off, I want to start by reviewing just long division in general. 3068 gets divided by 8. Hopefully at some point in elementary school you learned long division. And so what this does, this is called our dividend. I always get these words mixed up. Dividend, this is our divisor that's doing the dividing. So how many times does 8 go into 3? None. So then I would think, okay, move over. How many times does 8 go into 30? That'd be 3 times. So I put it above the 0 to say that's how many times it's going into 30. Then I multiply 8 times 3 and get 24. Then I subtract to get a leftover 6. Then I bring down the next digit. So how many times is 8 go into 66? I start the process all over. 8 times 7 is 56. 8 times 8. 8 times 8 is 64. Subtract, and then bring down the last digit. How many times does 8 go into 28? Would be 3 times again, which is 24. Subtract, you're left over with 4. So what this is called your remainder. The first problems that we'll have today won't have a remainder, but then the next ones will, so this is good to know too. So this number could be written as 383 with 4 eighths left over, which would be a half. So you always write your remainder over your divisor. So let's now try that with some polynomials that have x in them. Process is exactly the same. It says use the long division method to find the result when this polynomial is divided by x plus 2. So I'm dividing this by this. This goes on the inside to be x cubed plus 3x squared plus 5x plus 6. You want to leave a little room to where you can write above it. Is getting divided by x plus 2. Okay, I'm going to cover up this and I'm going to cover up this. To get started, you ask yourself, the first term on the outside, the x, needs to get multiplied by what to make x cubed? That would be x squared. I should have left more room. Then what I do is I multiply x squared by both of these terms. So x squared times x is x cubed. X squared times 2 is positive 2x squared. But then our next job was to subtract the number. But when we subtract, we're actually going to have like a negative in front that distributes to everything after it. So what I like to do is just change the sign. So now this is negative, and the other term will be negative. X cubed minus x cubed cancels, which it always should. 3x squared minus 2x squared is 1x squared, or x squared. Then I bring down the next term, and I start all over. So next step is to figure out, okay, x times what makes x squared? Would be another x. I should have put x squared. I'm going to move this. So I really like my x squared to match up here. And then I just said another x. See how it matches up with this x? And so then I kind of know there's columns and I know when I'm done. Then I multiply or distribute. X times x is x squared. X times 2 is 2x. But I'm going to subtract. Subtracting this means this now changes to a negative and this changes to a negative. X squared minus x squared cancels. 5x minus 2x is 3x. Then I bring down the last term. And then I start over. X times what makes 3x? 3. Distribute. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 2 is positive 6. But I'm going to subtract this, so this turns into a negative, and this turns into a negative, and they both cancels. That means I have no remainder. So what is my answer? X squared plus x plus 3. It's whatever you have at the top. So I don't find those too terrible. All right, let's try another one. Using long division, we're going to divide 6x cubed plus 2x squared minus x minus 2 by 3x minus 2. So to get started is the tricky part, but you're just looking at the first term in each polynomial. So 3x times what would get 6x cubed? Well, we'd need times a 2 and an x squared. So 2x squared, I'm going to put it above the other x squared. And then I distribute 2x squared times 3x should get you 6x cubed. These terms should always be the same because when we subtract, we want them to cancel. 2x squared times negative 2 is negative 4x squared. Change, because I'm subtracting this polynomial. Cancel. 2 plus 4 would be 6x squared. Bring down the next term. Start again. 3x times what would be 6x squared? 2x. Distribute. 2x times 3x is 6x squared. See how it matches? 2x times negative 2 is negative 4x. Subtract. Change to addition. Cancel. Negative 1 plus 4. 4 minus 1 is 3x. Bring down the last term. 3x times what gets 3x? Positive 1. And just multiply. That's obviously the exact same thing. I'm going to subtract those to change the signs. Cancel, cancel. My remainder is 0. So what is the answer to the division problem? 2x squared plus 2x plus 1. And that's it.